All right, a dog who did comparative psychology might easily worry about our consciousness or lack thereof, just as we worry about the consciousness of a squid. How do we know that this is a joke? Well, first of all, we don't actually worry about the consciousness of squids, right? Maybe we're curious how much consciousness they have. We don't worry about it. And then, there's just some other, clues in here, easily worry. This is sort of a strange phrasing. So you can tell that he's being a little bit humorous. Also, this, personification of, a dog who did comparative psychology. It's a goof, okay? But what is it saying? What's the important idea here? Imagine you did have a dog that, was capable of thinking deeply about psychology and, not only the psychology of his own race, right, of dogs, but also the psychology of another race, humans. Well, if he compared the way that he lives his life, okay, so this dog is sitting there thinking, okay, what it means to be conscious and alive and aware and interacting with the world, what that means to me, Mr. Dog, to me, is that you go around and you smell a lot of stuff, and then you interact with the stuff that you have sniffed. You sniff and you scent, and then oh look, there's a rabbit and it's afraid of me, and and here's some grass, and so let's roll around in the grass, and that's how you interact with the world. That's how you know that you're alive, sort of, right? That's the idea. Then, humans are sitting here and we think to ourselves, well, the way that we know is that we think about stuff. You've got Descartes, I think, therefore I am. And you look around at things and you can see stuff, and that's how we perceive consciousness, right? What are you aware of? What are you thinking about? Well, if humans say that the only way to be really conscious, truly conscious, is to perceive the world the way we do, with a lot of sights and pictures and looking through our eyes, then dogs are going to pale in comparison. We think oh, maybe dogs are really not that conscious. And then if dogs sit around and take the same comparative psychology course, and they judge humans, so they sit there and they say, okay, well, the way that you do it is you think about, what you're smelling and scenting. They would look at humans and say, well, they can barely smell anything at all. They can't even find a rabbit that's 2 miles away. I mean, good grief, honestly. And they would think, dogs would sit around in their comparative psychology class, and they would think that humans are not very conscious, or at least they pale in comparison, right? So that's the idea. It's kind of a joke, but the point being, how do we really think about how other animals, how other creatures in this world interact with the world? How do other people experience things? Other creatures. And that's a useful question. It's interesting. Obviously, we also do the same thing with thoughts of, how other people from different cultures, different backgrounds can perceive different things. What does consciousness mean? Like we said, it's a really, really big, huge question, but that's what this kind of humorous little quip is getting at.